So in this video, I'm gonna share with you my entrepreneurship journey of how I went from zero to making over $22,000 per month at only 22 years old. So let me take you back to where it all started. It started when I was 15 years old and when I got into personal development. My first mentor was Elliot Hulse, and he's basically like a YouTuber, fitness guy, and also a philosopher in my opinion, and he completely changed my life. And the most important thing that he changed my life in is my mindset. He told me that everything is possible. So thank you, Elliot, for wherever you are, for the help. And then through Elliot, I found this other guy. I literally went through one of his videos, just one, because he did a collab with Owen Cook, also known as RC Tyler, or Tyler Durden. He took the name from Fight Club. Owen at the time taught about like how to pick up girls, and that was his company about. So then I got into that, developed myself with that. And then through one video, I'm just going through like a rabbit hole here, right? One video again with Owen and with his friend Tai Lopez. And then that's when I discovered Tai Lopez. And also this other guy called Michael Sartain. So Tai Lopez has this program called 67 Steps. And basically it was a very long program, and the main things that I got out of it was that you need to read books and that you need a mentor. I would say the mentor part was the most important. So I was like, okay, I need a mentor. So then I started investing in all these programs. And here's what happened, and here's what started to happen. So since I just graduated from high school, I was like 17, 18 years old. I was like, okay, what am I gonna do with my life now? So I was like, I kind of want to get into entrepreneurship, but I'm not too sure like what business to start yet, because I thought that you need to have a specific business, not knowing that you just need a skill. So then I was like, okay, let me go into some school. So first I thought I'd go to law school, but then I was like, no, like, let me go to business school. That felt right. So I studied for 7 hard months, and I really put in the discipline, the work ethic, and I got into a decent school. I got 0 mistakes in the test, but I kind of froze in the test because I could have gotten to the best school if I really would have taken some risks, but I didn't. So that's okay. And in a way, it was a blessing in disguise, because if I wouldn't got into the best school in Helsinki, I got into a central school in central Finland, in Jyväskylä, then I think I would have stayed there, because the networking chances would have been much more, and the competitiveness would have been much more higher, right? So it was a blessing in disguise, like always in life. So basically what then happened is I had this period of waiting. I was waiting for like the summer and also some of the autumn or fall. I was waiting to get into school, and in that time I already got into entrepreneurship heavily, and I started planning what business to start and all these things. So then when I got into the business school, I was like, okay, I want to start my business, and I started a YouTube channel back then, which I later deleted. I've deleted my YouTube channel like 2 times, which is funny. I actually deleted because I made one video talking about my porn addiction, and then one of these girls who was like my old schoolmate, she commented that like, how are you doing like videos about your porn addiction online publicly? And I got so insecure about it, I deleted the whole channel. So yeah, there you go. But I was like 18 years old, so what do you know? Now if people come to me like say that, I'm like, fuck you, bitch. So I've changed, you know. The development has been rough, but it's been beautiful, you know. Self-confidence. But yeah, basically what happened is I got to the school and I was like, what is this? This is bullshit. Like, this is not real like, we studied some like random books. We had to know by heart all these things that we don't do anything with. Had nothing to do with entrepreneurship that I wanted to. And the irony is, so I went to a couple classes, and what I didn't like was the people who just drinked and partied all the time. Obviously, that's part of the college experience or business school experience. university experience in this case. But I didn't like it. And I went to the ironic thing was I went to one exam only, and it was Entrepreneurship 101. The reason I went to one exam only because I actually partied so hard, I hit my head with my classmate. So I got like concussion, so I had to rest. But basically, I went to the exam and I flunked it. I didn't get any points. I was like, what is this? Because he was asking all these weird questions because I hadn't read the books. I thought it was about entrepreneurship, but it wasn't. Right? So then fast forward a little bit. What then started happening is I started looking for a mentor. And that's when I found Stefan James, also known as Stefan Palernos, online, his program called K-Money Mastery. And I was very excited about this program, and I got it, I bought it. In fact, I also bought some Stefan's coaching, which was very valuable for me because for the first time, I got to be with a millionaire. And the reason I was able to buy it because I had some money saved up from my grandparents or from my grandfather, a will, you know. I had like 40,000 euros, which was really a massive advantage for me because I was able to invest that money very wisely, which I'm gonna get to in the future as well, which I used the money, on how I used the money as well. I used the money on Stefan's mentoring, but also I went to some events like Brendon Burchard's event in San Diego, which is very valuable for me as well. I got to network with people, stuff like that. So I also got Brendon Burchard's programs, Experts Academy, and also High Performance Academy, which really helped me with the mindset. But then here's where everything got interesting. I found out about Dan Lok through Stefan James. So you notice, like, I'm literally finding out about people through people. So I found about Dan Lok, and this is where everything changed for me. So basically, to kind of rush through what happened, because my relationship with Dan obviously has changed since then. It's been a long time, but basically I sent Dan a message, and then he replied, and he got me through some tests. I had to jump through hoops, and then he basically got me on a call with his right-hand man Desmond, and they sold me on the idea of joining the Dan Lok Inner Circle. And basically they asked me if I was willing to relocate to Vancouver, Canada. And I was like, sure. And they gave me 2 months, and I did it. I went to Vancouver, Canada, because again, I had the cushion of some money. I was able to pay for Dan, I was able to pay for my rent, and so on. So this is where everything then started really going to the next level. To kind of fast forward the story, because I don't want to take too much of the time. What happened is, I was struggling the first year. I wasn't making any money. Dan got me right away to start doing Facebook advertising, which I started doing. I quit the K-Money Mastery course. I quit doing Kindle publishing, and I moved into skills. So the most important thing I learned from Dan is you need skills to pay the bills. Okay, skill development is the most important thing, and also of course the mindset is, but skills are the most important. When you have skills, high income skills, you can get money. So my skills were and are now Facebook advertising, Instagram ads, closing, copywriting, and funnel building. So obviously I can make on public speaking. Obviously I can make a lot of money with these skills, right? So then for 1 year I worked my ass off. And then finally I started getting some clients, started getting some traction. And then, of course, I had some rough periods of time. My dad died. My dad got diagnosed with brain cancer. He died. And Dan was obviously helping me with that. So I'm forever grateful for Dan for helping me with my dad's passing away, because he became like a father figure for me. And then I joined Dan's team as well later on. And I spent 1 year in the team. And it changed my life, because then I got to manage millions of dollars in ad spend. I got to be with, literally hang out with millionaires, basically 6-figure earners. And then what happened is I started getting a bit greedy. I was making 10K per month with Dan. I wanted to make more money, so then he fired me. And then basically I started making money on my own. So then that's when I started making real money, like $20,000 per month money. And that's where I started traveling. But that's not the point of this video, because obviously then a lot of you know my story. I started traveling the world. I started just going to Brazil. A lot of this, of course, it was cool, but if I was smart back then, I would have just stayed doing what I was doing in Vancouver, Canada, and just scale my business to 100K per month. But then it wasn't meant to be yet. So now that's what I'm doing. At least I think I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. So of course things might change. I'm a man of faith. So then I follow God. God will show me the way. God will guide me to where I need to go. So I'm not worried about what's going to happen. But yeah, that's basically my story. And if I have any advice I have for you is to follow your heart. Follow your heart and see where it takes you. Just like I'm doing right now. I'm literally quitting what I was doing. I'm quitting the twin flames thing. I'm quitting the spirituality thing, because it doesn't feel like I need to do that anymore. Instead, I need to follow my heart, and just to share my vision is I want to start traveling the world again. That's my vision, and then I'm going to document that. I'm going to share how I'm managing my businesses as I'm traveling the world and so on. So stay tuned for that. But this is how I literally went from zero to making $20,000 per month at only 22 years old. So I hope this is valuable. If it was, make sure you hit the like button, comment below any thoughts, click on the bell, subscribe, and as always, I'll see you next time. Bye.